my name is Claudia Delgado. I am a student at MSU Denver, and I will graduate in May with a double major in biology and healthcare management. I am creating this capstone to go through my 4 years of the Urban Leadership Program. I couldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world. It has been such an impact in my undergraduate experience, and I think a lot of people focus on where the end is to be successful, and I can just say that success is a journey, not a destination, and my journey began with the Urban Leadership Program. So as I mentioned earlier, I joined in the fall of 2013. My first semester I took LDR 1010, and that class really stood out for me because it set the foundation of what it meant for me to be a leader, and it got me to think critically of where I see myself as a leader, or what it doesn't mean to me in the first place. I came to the conclusion that for me, leadership is someone that puts others before himself and is able to lead them in a way that would benefit the followers and anybody that comes next in the further generations. And also along with that, I got to interview Paul Asper, and that was kind of my first big professional interviewer and resume building and everything that comes with that. I also got to know my top 5 strengths, which were woo, positivity, responsibility, includer, and responsibility. I wasn't too sure about the woo first at the beginning, but I think with time I realized that I like to talk to people, and I like kind of convincing people and to follow me and come with me. So that was a very important semester for me within the class. And the first year I really just hit high the expectations, and I exceeded in within ULP because I took full advantage of it. I also joined the street team because I wanted to promote what great program it was. And then lastly, I studied abroad, and that was thanks to the Urban Leadership Program. They gave me a scholarship to go to London that summer, and I think I wouldn't have done it as soon if it wasn't for the Urban Leadership Program, because throughout my first year I gained confidence and kind of took it upon myself to grow more. And as a leader, we don't choose our followers, and I think it's important to have that cultural proficiency and understand how other people think and where they're coming from, and you can only get that from experiencing other cultures and other countries and other standard of living. So take on the journey with me to see the first year of the Now this leads us into fall 2014. I think the highlight of fall 2014 for me was being part of the L. Palmer Foundation student leadership experience. I did join spring 2014, but I grew more within the next year, which is the school year, fall 2015, because I really got to experience it from the beginning. In the spring of 2014, I was like, hey, you're part of it, here you go. Take on what's left of the project with 3 other students. But in the following year, I got to experience the whole year within El Palmar. And really what it is, it brings 4 students from each university around Colorado together to enhance their leadership skills. We chose to partner up with Hill, a nonprofit organization that stands for Regional Institute for Healthcare Environmental Leadership, and what it does, it brings leaders together and learn more about leadership. So we got to interview them, and it was a really great experience. I worked really closely with Kristen, Fatima, and SK, who were also part of the El Palmar Foundation Scholars. And lastly, that same year, during the summer, I took HCM 3500. This was research methods within healthcare, and I learned more about what leadership was in an educational standpoint. I got to read studies. I got to understand what leadership was and the type of leaders there is out there. And I created my own study of how I could measure leadership within healthcare, because it's not well known and it's not well studied. So I got to make up my own study within healthcare, and it all happened because of the Urban Leadership. So now we're into fall 2015, and I think this year really kicked off great. We took a drive to Boulder and started a, a rope course activity with all the students that were part of the Urban Leadership Program that year, and it really helped us kind of build that confidence and that connection with other students. We got to know each other very well, because there was a point where we were holding on to each other for dear God and trying not to fall off this rope, and so that really brought us together. And it also challenged us too. We got to go into the high course ropes, and harness was ready, and we got to climb. I don't know how high, but we had to throw ourselves, and I mean, we didn't have to, but sometimes it happened because we would fall off the cords. But so that was pretty great. It was a great year, and I kind of took it lightly now. I think I experienced the Alpha Mar was over. I didn't study abroad. I kind of took ULP for what it was, and I went to these field experiences, and there's two that really stick out to me that year of the 2015, because one was the visit to to Children's Hospital. It was the very first visit that we did within healthcare, and that was very inspirational because, as some of you know, my background is going into medicine or a healthcare provider. I love healthcare in general, so getting to meet some important people within Children's Hospital was pretty inspiring. And we got to the deck on top where the helicopters land, so that was pretty cool. And the last experience that really stood out to me, I don't know what came first, but it was going to Mi Casa, and we got to meet the CEO. I can't really think of her name right now, but she gave us this speech, a kind of very inspirational speech about what it meant for her to be the CEO of Mi Casa. It's a nonprofit organization that helps, in particular, Latina women to just succeed in general. They pay for their tuition in some sort, or help them improve business skills. And she talked about all the people that doubted her and all that people that didn't believe in her, and it just really stood out to me because I've had those people in my life, and to see someone become a CEO of such a great nonprofit organization, it kind of gave me hope and inspired me to be like, you know what, I'm doing great, I should keep moving forward. And so those two leadership experiences that same year in the fall 2015 and going into spring 2016 really stood out to me, which was great. I also got to really think of, okay, I'm a leader now, how can I apply those skills? And so part of the Urban Leadership Program is to volunteer, and so I took on joining UNICEF, which is the largest humanitarian nonprofit organization that helps children across the world. So this leaves us off in the last year, fall 2016. I will be graduating in spring of 2017, so I'm so excited for that. But I did not leave the ULP program. I think it's just helped me grow so much as a leader, of what it means to be a leader, of where you can go as a leader, of who you can inspire as a leader, with all my experiences in the past. The class that I took that year that was a substitute for the leadership course, or a minor, was HCM 4610, and like the prerequisite for that too. And this was the internship course. It's part of my major in healthcare management. This class really enhanced and put together all the leadership I've I've known, because I got to practice it in the real workforce experience. I interned at Centura Health, and I was given the autonomy to work on a project by myself and kind of lead the project or where it was going, and whoever had an opinion, they would come to me and, how do you do this, Claudia, or what do you think about this? So it was really putting all the leadership into practice, and from like educational standpoint of what it means to be, for me to be a leader, and how I can apply it within healthcare, to my philosophy of putting others before yourself. Like, all that came together in this internship, and it was great. I won the Intern of the Year award, and I got 3 resume letters. And I mean, thank you, Dr. Lou, thank you, Dr. Zeiler, and thank you, soon to be Dr. Brandy Scott. I should not say that, because yeah, she's going for her doctors. Okay, moving on. They wrote to me 3 letters of recommendation within, I don't know, 3-4 days. So thank you. And then a big thank you to Tom Schaefer. He's been a mentor, and, well, on top of being a supervisor, and he put in the application, and I won the award. Yes. Another big thing that has happened was spring of 2017. Before I started my last semester, I went to Costa Rica, and I did this because I love to travel, and I want to travel with a purpose now. And if it wasn't for the Urban Leadership Program, I don't think I would have considered volunteering abroad, but I did. I volunteered abroad to Nuestro Hogar, and this is a organization in Costa Rica that helps people with HIV positive and with disabilities, trying to just get them back on their feet. And I got to experience things that I would have never experienced here in the United States, and I got to understand how people live in other countries, and it really humbled me down, and it brought me back to earth of where I come from and who I want to help in healthcare, and really it comes down to the underserved population, and why healthcare means so much to me, because they're so vulnerable, and it's such a big organization / business that I think it needs more people to really realize that they're there for the patients and not so much the financial aspect of healthcare. So I went out there by myself for 1 week, and I don't think I've ever considered it if it wasn't for the Urban Leadership Program. So it was a great experience, and that's kind of how I ended my year. So there you have it, folks. That was my 4 years in the Urban Leadership Program. Just kidding. That was too much. But anyways, I just want to give a big thank you to Greta. She has been so supportive, and I mean, I think I can go on and talk forever about my experience in the Urban Leadership Program, and I think something that I didn't mention was me joining to be a front runner. That was also a big moment at the time for me. I joined in fall of 2015, but I think that being a front runner really helped me get to know Greta at a different level, as opposed to being the director of the Urban Leadership Program. She is such an inspirational person. I mean, I know and I can see why she maintains ULP. She has this passion for helping students, and students like me that are first generation minorities. I see that, and if it wasn't for Greta, I don't think this program is where it's at, or would grow or be what it has become. Thank you, Greta. I thank you for believing in me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for the letters of recommendation. Thank you for helping me decide whether I should be an MD or a PA. Thank you for everything. You've done so much for me, and I'm so glad I joined this ULP program, and I just can't thank you enough. There you have it. There's the 4 years of my ULP program. I've grown so much, and I feel like I am the leader I am today because of it, and I know where I'm going because of the experience I've had through it. I mean, I can go on forever of how great the ULP is and how great Greta is, but there you have it. It's that's my this is my senior capstone, and I wouldn't change the 4 years in ELP for anything.